Hello friends, today I'm going to show you how to make an elephant bookmark. So it's a bookmark because if you look at the back of the elephant, it opens up. So what you can do is you can take a book and you actually put this on the page of your book to remember what place you were at in your story. So I'm going to show you how to make the elephant and then I will show you how you actually use it. This one is really big. I used an entire piece of printer paper to make this elephant here. So what I'm going to do first is I'm actually only going to use half of this paper because I don't want my elephant to be as big. I have a big one maybe for big picture books. You can also make a smaller one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece of printer paper. I'm going to fold it in half. So line up my corners, pinch in the middle, slide to each side, and then I'm going to cut it in half. So I'm going to make one that is smaller than my first elephant. There we go. I'm not going to use this paper yet. You can maybe make another one. I'm going to use this piece of paper. Now, to make an elephant bookmark, they're all going to be, or all these bookmarks that go on the corner of the pages of your book, they're all made from a square. So the first thing we have to do with this piece of paper is to make a square. We do that by folding one edge into a triangle. So remember when we do origami, we do this. We line up our corners. So I'm going to make this corner come to a point, so it's a triangle. I'm then going to hold that piece so it lines up with this top edge and slide my finger down. So now you see it has made a triangle. This part right here, I'm gonna cut off with my scissors so I can make the paper into a square. There we go. So now I have a square. What we do with our square is we're gonna keep it in a triangle just like this. Now I'm gonna take each corner, I'm gonna fold each corner down to the bottom of the upside down triangle. So take this corner, fold it down to the bottom, pinch at the top, and then slide. Try your best to line it up so it is straight. You don't want it to overlap. You don't want it to be too far away from the bottom. You want this corner to meet the bottom. We're gonna try to make a rhombus or a diamond. Take this corner, go to the bottom of your shape, and now you see we have a diamond. Once we have this, we're actually going to unfold these two areas. I'm gonna take the top part of this paper and I'm gonna fold this up so now it makes a little triangle. It's gonna follow those fold lines we just made. So now we have this little triangle inside of that part. We also have these two bigger triangles on the side. I'm gonna take these edges. Here's the fun part. You're gonna actually push them inside of this pocket. So I'm gonna take my edges, push them inside of the pocket, and then crease it down. Same thing on this side. Take my edge, push it inside of the pocket I have made, and crease it down. You might need to push your triangles a little farther up so they're straight, but now you have made your little bookmark. So like I said, we're gonna be making an elephant. You can make this into a different creature if you want to. I'm gonna show you how I trimmed my edges to be round, how I cut out the details for my elephant, and then how I glued it all together. If you want to make another animal, feel free to look up a different animal movie now, or a video, or a picture, and you can base your details for the animal on that picture. You don't have to make an elephant if you don't want to. If you want to make an elephant, here are our next steps. So now I'm ready to make my elephant. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my scissors and I'm gonna round the edges. You see how none of my edges on my elephant are at a point anymore? I'm going to trim the edges. And to do that, we're not cutting off through the middle. We're just taking our scissors and trimming around the sides. I'm gonna make the bottom part a curve, so I'll trim it so it becomes a little more round. Make this corner a curve. So you see I'm not cutting through it, I'm just cutting the corners. And I'm also gonna trim the top part to be round because an elephant's head is round. Now it's not a perfect circle. It looks more like an organic oval shape, but that is my round head for my elephant. Now, we had extra paper when we trimmed out our square, so we're gonna use this extra paper to make the trunk of our elephant and the ears. We're gonna make the ears first. And you can think of the ears as a butterfly. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to use this paper and I'm gonna cut out 2 of the same shape at one time. And we do that, if you remember, by folding our paper in half, maybe taking a pencil or a pen. I'm gonna draw those butterfly shapes. So it's a big curve that goes up and then goes down. Kind of like a weird M if you wanna look at it like that. And then I'm gonna take my scissors, and while my paper is folded, I am going to cut out that line. You can make your ears bigger, you can make them smaller. That is completely up to you. And remember, we're cutting a curve, so we use small alligator chompers. There we go. So now I have 2 ears, and I cut them out at one time. Now when I put these on my elephant, I might need to adjust them because we don't want them like that. You might need to make them a little skinnier or a little smaller. I'll probably put them on like that when I'm ready. Now that I have my ears, I have to cut out one more thing. I'm gonna cut out the trunk of my elephant. And I'm just gonna use the rest of the paper I have here. I'm gonna draw that shape. It looks almost like a really, really big candy cane. So if you wanna draw a candy cane shape, draw a big curve that comes up like this. Make it really wide. And then draw a curve that comes down. So it looks like a really big candy cane. That's how I describe it. Same thing, small alligator chompers. Cut out your curve. This is gonna be the nose or the trunk of my elephant. And there we go. I will recycle these pieces of paper. And now I'm gonna go ahead and use my 3 shapes I cut out. So I'm gonna glue my trunk down first. We'll use a glue stick. I'm gonna go ahead and rub a little bit of glue on the front side. We're gonna glue all of our details down on this side of your elephant, not the side that has the folded corners, on the flat side. Then I'll glue down my ears. For my ears, because my ears, I cut them so wide, I'm gonna glue them down so they're kind of at an angle. So I'll flip this part over. I'm gonna put glue on this triangle piece, this folded piece here. Glue one ear down that way. Yours might look a little different than mine. Rub glue on that triangle. Glue the other one down the same way. Whoop. Remember, pet it like a puppy so it sticks down. And there we go. Looks kind of silly, doesn't it? Looks like a surprise elephant. His ears are up. Your ears might be more on the side of your elephant. That's totally up to you guys. Once I have my ears on my elephant, I'm gonna add my drawing details. I've chosen to use a pink marker and a black marker for my details. The way I drew my eyes is I drew a circle, a small circle. I left an open bubble in one part of the eye, small circle, little open bubble or open circle, and that's actually a reflection in the eye. So I'm just gonna color around that circle. You can give your elephant eyelashes if you want to. You do not have to. I'm just not gonna give this elephant eyelashes. I'm also gonna add a little curve down here, kind of like a J. And I'm gonna add some straight lines that go down my elephant's nose to show some texture. With my pink marker, I'm gonna give my elephant some rosy cheeks. If you want to do that, you totally can. And I'm also gonna color in the insides of my elephant's ear. And I follow the same line I drew before, and then I neatly color it in. So same line we drew before, and neatly color it in. And there we go. So 2 different elephants. One has a little different type of ears. The other one's a little bigger. Depending on what size you want to make, you can make your paper smaller. Just remember, you gotta start out with a square. Once you are done with your bookmarks, you can use them to mark your book. So if you're reading a bigger book, you might want to use a smaller one. The way I do it is I take my page, whatever page I left off on, I open up the bookmark, and I'm gonna slide the page in between the page I was on and the open part of the pocket. Then I can just close it. You can also use your bigger one, if you made a bigger one, for something like a picture book. So if I open this one up, I figure out what page I was on. Same thing, you're gonna slide the page through the pocket, And there you go. So now you won't lose your page. I hope you enjoyed making our elephant jungle bookmarks, friends. Happy creating!